Welcome back to my new video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can store files or large files into your MongoDB. Okay, so with MongoDB, you cannot just store your files directly into MongoDB, but MongoDB provides something they call GridFS. Okay. And it's just a specification for storing and retrieving files that exceed the BSON document size of 16 megabytes. Okay, so you can read more about GridFS and how it works more into details, but you will see that by default, GridFS stores the files in fs.files and then the metadata in fs.chunks. Okay, so let's jump right into our IDE, and then we can code this process of storing files into MongoDB. So currently I'm in my terminal. I'm using PyCharm, so that is what we're going to use. So before you start, you need to install Pymongo. Okay, so if you don't have it, you can use pip install Pymongo. Okay, so that's all you're going to use to install your Pymongo. So I'm going to import some libraries. I'm going to say from Pymongo import Mongo client. Okay, and I'm going to define 3 functions: the connection to the MongoDB, the upload function, as well as the download function. So let's do this. Let me pass this. And then we're going to define Mongo con, which is Mongo connection. We're going to say pass. We're going to define the next function called upload file. And we're going to say pass. And then the third function is to download file, which I'm also going to pass. Okay, so let's start working on the Mongo con. Okay, so I'm going to start with a try except block as ER, and I'm just going to print error in MongoDB connection. Okay. ERR, which is referring to the error. And within the try block, I'm going to define a new variable called con, referring to connection. And I'm going to call our Mongo client class. And I'm going to pass in some parameters. In this case, we are just going to look at the host and then the port. Okay. So currently my MongoDB is running on my local computer. Okay, so we're going to refer to it as 127.0.0.1. And then the port that we are going to consider here is a default port of 27017. And I'm going to print a message and say MongoDB connected. Okay. And I'm going to pass in the connection object. And also I'm going to return connection dot. So this is where I specify the MongoDB database. Okay. This is where I'm going to specify it. And so let's call it, how should I call it? Dot, okay, let's call it, YTube, okay? That's the name of my database, YTube. So basically we're done with the connection object. The next thing I'm going to look at is the upload, how we can upload file. So I'm going to pass in some parameters, okay? So to upload a file, we need the file location. We also need a file name. And then we also need a FS, which I'm going to talk about later, okay? Or the file system from the GridFS, okay? And once we do that, I'm going to say with open, I'm going to say the file lock. I'm going to open the file, okay? And then because we are reading, I'm going to say read bytes. And then I'm going to say as file data. We want the file data dot read, okay? And once we read a file, we want to assign it back to another variable called data. So now we can call the FS. Now we can call the FS and then put the file into our database. Okay, which file do we want to put? Data. And also we need to specify the file name, okay? The file name that we want to store. So we're going to call file underscore name, which is the one we're going to pass through the function, okay? Okay, so we are putting the file. So this is where put file into MongoDB. This is where the magic happens, okay? And once that goes successful, we're gonna print a message to the user and say, upload complete, okay? So that is all for the upload function. Now let's move to the download. So now we want to download a file to a particular location, okay? So we'll need download location. Which DB are we going to download from? Okay, so we're going to pass the DB. We're going to also pass the FS, and then also we're going to pass the file name that we want to download from the DB. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that. So now we're going to say db dot fs dot files dot find one. Okay, so find one is a function that takes a dictionary, okay, and that dictionary we're going to pass in the file name and then a colon, the file name that we want to get from our MongoDB, okay? So once we do that, that is our data, okay? That is our data that we got from the database, and we want to get a file ID, okay? So the file ID, we're going to say data square bracket underscore ID, okay? So once we get a file ID, we want to assign it back to a variable name called fsid is equal to this. Now, we'll use this file ID to grab the what? The data from the MongoDB. Okay, so we're going to say fs.get. Instead of put, you see, fs.put. This time we are using fs.get. And then this will ask for the fsid. And then we're going to say read. Once we read, we're going to assign it to a new variable name called out data is equal to this. Once we do that, we're now going to open a file location, and then we write out that file. Okay, so we're going to say with open, we pass in the download location, and then we're going to say write byte and say as output, and then we'll say output.write, and then we pass in what out underscore data. Okay, so that is all for the with open this one. Okay, so that is all for our function. So the next thing we're gonna look at is our file paths. Okay, so let's declare some variable names. Okay, I'm gonna say file underscore name is equal to what? 991. So as you can see, I have this PDF file here. So that is what we are going to upload to our MongoDB. Okay, so it's 939. Okay, that is our file name. And then what is our file location? File location, we want to specify the full path. Okay, so this is our file location. Okay, and I'm going to create a new directory which I'm going to call downloads. Okay, and so I'm going to append the file name to it. Okay, the file name. Okay, so our download location, down location, I'm going to say os.path.join, and then I'm going to get a current working directory. Okay, so current working directory. Then I want to append downloads to it. Okay. Once I do that, I want to pass in the file name. Okay, so let's print download log and see how it looks like. Okay, so The download log, this is how it looks like. Okay. This is how it looks like. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And the next thing that I'm going to consider is, I'm going to say, I'm going to import GridFS. Okay. So let me import GridFS. And I'm going to say fs is equal to gridfs.gridff, and this accepts the database. Okay. Okay, so that is going to be the DB, and we're going to also pass in the collection. Okay, the collection, we can call it PDF PD files. Okay, let's just call it PD files. Let's just call it files. Okay, and this DB, we're gonna get it from where? DB is equal to Mongo connection. Okay, Mongo connection, which is this file, this function. Okay, so we get a DB from this connection, and then we pass that in, and then we give it a name called what? Files. So here our Mongo database, the name for our database is YouTube, and then the collection is going to be what? Files. So basically our database name is YouTube or YTube, and the table is going to be called what? Files. That's what it means. Okay. So once we do that, we can call the upload. The upload, you know, we're going to pass the file location in. File lock is equal to file lock, and it also accepts the file name as well as what? The FS. Okay, let me see what. So it accepts the file name, which is this one, and then the FS. Okay. And FS is equal to FS. Okay. So basically the file location is referring to this one. And then the name of the file we want to call it is 91. You can give it a different name, but that is how I want to call it for now. And then the FS is what? Coming from the GridFS. Okay. So if we run this program, let's see what we're going to get. I think we're getting some error. Okay, so let me see if I can connect to the MongoDB first. Okay, so let me brew start MongoDB community. So I want to start my MongoDB. As a root. Okay, so let me see if I can start the MongoDB. Okay, so it has started successfully. So let me connect to it first. I'm gonna click on it, connect. So so I was figuring out why my MongoDB wasn't working. I think I had some issues with it. So what I'm going to do now is to use the this URL. Okay, this is a real MongoDB URL, and I'm passing in the username and then the password. Okay, and the password I'm getting it from this config.file. I'm not going to open it because I don't want to show you my username and password, but if you open that file, it looks like this. Username is equal to maybe user, and then password is equal to, let's say, password. That's all that I have in this config.file. And once I have these two variables in there, I'm using from config import username and password, and then I'm using the format function to pass in the values, and then assign it to this URL. Okay. Once I do that, I pass the URL to our Mongo client. Okay. So that is all that I'm doing. So if you look at the screen, this is the real MongoDB cloud. Okay, so if you go to this URL, you should be able to create an account. So as you see I have one database and then one collection over there. Okay, so I'm going to run our code. Okay, so this code is just going to upload this file 91939.pdf file to our MongoDB in the cloud. Okay, so I'm just going to click on this play button, and this should happen by uploading the file to our server. Okay, so I'm going to run this. You see, we have the message upload complete. Okay, so you see this is the message upload complete. So now let's go back to our Mongo cloud. So if I click on collections, let me click on overview and collections. You see now we have the YTube database. Let me make it big, a little bit big. You see now we have the YTube database, and under it we have the files collection dot files. Okay, so if I click on it, you see that the file name is what 91939.pdf, and this is the length, and this is the chunk size, and then the object ID. This object ID get created for us by MongoDB. Okay. So what we are going to do next is to download this file. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let me comment out this, and then Okay, let me comment and say download. And then I'm going to pass in our download location, download lock. And then I'm going to pass in the DB that we are going to download from, which is the YTube. And I'm going to pass in the FS and then the file name that we want to download, which is the 91939. Okay. And our download location, if we download this file, it should appear in the downloads folder, the green folder over here, because currently we don't have anything in there. So what I'm going to do here is, this is our download location. You see /downloads, and it appends the file name to it, this one. Okay. So I'm going to click on the green button. Object is not subscriptable. Let me check, diagnose the issue. Okay, so let's go to our code. Okay, this ID. Okay, so I think it's supposed to be file. That is the name of our collection. Let me see. What was the name of our collection? What was the name? Where is it? I think it should be. Where is the name? Where did I put the name? This is the database name. And okay, so let me see. Okay, it's files.files. Okay, it's files.files. Okay, what I was, okay, so files.files. Yeah, so I think that should be that. Okay, yeah, so this is what I was looking for. This is the collection name. Okay, collections name. Okay, so I'm going to rerun this again. You see, I think I need to print out this message. Print download completed. Okay, download completed. So you see we have the file there, but let me delete it and run it again so that the user can see a message printed to the screen. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. You see, download completed. Okay, so if you go into our downloads, you can see this is the file. Okay, so we've been able to download and also upload the file to our server. Okay, so these are the two functions. Okay, so either you upload or you download. Okay, so yeah, so I think take note of this is DB, the name of the DB dot the collections name dot the files. Okay, and that file, if you look at it carefully, this is it. The collection name or the DB name dot the collections name dot files, and then you put dot find, and that is going to find this file name for us. Okay, once it finds the file name, you see this is it, the file name that we're going to pass in. And the file name we pass in was what? This one. Okay. And once it's able to locate that, it will download it to this downloads directory. Okay, given the file name. Okay. So basically that is it. Very simple, straightforward. If you don't have an account on MongoDB Cloud, you can go there and create one. Okay, and then you follow through the code, and everything should work. All right. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.